Well, I started riding on the Ninja 250 instead of getting a 600 CBR or something crazy like that. The reason why I felt like riding after doing a bunch of research online and stuff like that, yes, I grew out of the bike. Yes, I do want something faster. But when I first started off, I just wanted something so I could get on the bike, get comfortable with it, get my legs between the saddle of a motorcycle, and then feel it out. Also, if I, let's say for example, I dropped it or something, it wouldn't be so expensive for me to repair it. Think about it, a Ninja 250, a fender kit, a flaring kit, you could go on eBay and get it for what, $100 versus that 600, or that bigger bike or the bike that most people want. You start looking at kits, even if it's Chinese or cheap kits as they call it, you're going to be spending a good $200. Now, for a lot of people, that doesn't sound that bad, but for the average person, like I am or somebody else who is, $200 sounds like $1 million. It might as well be, because at the end of the day, you got bills, you got life choices to make. So $200 on a cosmetic part for a motorcycle or for a toy, as we call it, might not seem that interested in, especially when you add up how much gears cost, helmet, jackets, and stuff like that. Because in the matter of 3 months of riding a motorcycle, I ended up buying 4 jackets just because of different riding style. I look at the weather app like I was, a grizzly bear in Montana, just because I wanted to see, oh crap, it's gonna rain today. No, it's not gonna rain today. What's the weather pattern? Is it gonna be windy today? Is it gonna be rain? Whatever it's gonna be. If it's humid, if it's hot, if it's cold, you want to dress according to how it's going to be outside. It's not like when you're in your car, you get in, close your doors, turn on your AC, turn on your wiper blades, you're good to go. You want to dress accordingly to how it is outside. Because just like my man says, damn, I can never forget people's name when I'm doing a video. But if you look up Moto Jutsu, I'm telling you, that dude, he would like follow his stuff, because that dude's on point with everything. Thanks to him, I started learning how to do U-turns and stuff like that, because he is very intuitive, or very time taking when it comes to explaining stuff, which is what I want to get to. I am a shy person. I'm naturally just not outgoing unless I know you, or unless I, as we say, fuck with you. You know, I'm not normally that type of person to just come out and be like, "Hey, how you doing?" Blah blah blah. Unless I'm at work, but that's because I'm broke. I need to work and I need that money. But yeah, so the reason why I started on that 250 was, one, it's cheap parts. Two, maintenance is cheaper. I just get 2 quarts of oil, get an oil filter, boom, I'm done. If I mess up at the end of the day, just like the illustrator says, it's a 250 or it's a small bike, you get to grow into it, you get to work on it and stuff like that, which is true. I've taken out the fairings on it. I've looked at the chain and stuff like that. I've gotten to learn more about a motorcycle, more than just you get on the saddle and ride, because there's a bunch of riders that don't really care to learn about their bikes, or care to learn about how to do some wiring repair kit or stuff like that, just because they have the money and go to a dealership or go somewhere else and get it repaired, which is fine. But at the same time, when you fix it for yourself, you appraise it a little bit better. When you start fixing something, or you put your paws on it, as I call it, you start appreciating the mechanical stuff of it. You start appreciating everything that little thing does. Especially, it makes you more connected with your ride, with your machine, because now you feel like, hey, I did this oil change, or hey, I changed that tire. And on a small bike, you don't have any emotional attachment to it. Well, you might, but not as much as a more expensive bike. I bought my 250 for $900, which is a steal. you know, I could easily go out there and buy a 1000, or, something crazy like that, with saving some money, but it's not going to be the same relationship, because since this bike is cheaper, it makes it easier for me to not really care too much. If my wife drops it, or if I drop it, it's, $20 here, $20 there, versus if She drops a 600 that cost me 3 grand. It's more of a oh crap situation because now not only is it a 3 grand bike plus whatever you spend on to get tax registration and stuff like that to your state, country, or whatever you live at. Now it's more of a crap. I gotta get this fairing kit. Everything has to look nice and pristine because either I make it look good or it's gonna be a Street Fighter. And if I make it look like a Street Fighter, people are just gonna be like, well, he's busted or he broke, or if it's not clean or if it's not matching, what are you doing? Son, you got to get your stuff together. And that's how it goes. Versus, a 250, you bust it out, you make that joint a Street Fighter, nobody's gonna bat an eye because it's a it's a 250. On my 250, I sit upright so I could ride for hours and not really feel tired. Only thing that sucks is obviously sometimes I get my hands numb because I'm gripping that throttle too much just because of how slow the acceleration feels. Versus, on a bigger bike, that, let's say for example, my buddy's bike, he has a 636, the Kawasaki. That joint is amazing. With a flick of your finger, you're going 60 miles an hour down the road, and you don't even know how fast you're gonna go once you like wail on the throttle all the way through. Versus on my 250, I smack the throttle all the way back. Pretty much I'm doing the shoulder lean from like back in the day, or lean with it, rock with it, and I'm only going 10 miles an hour. Or if I'm going up a hill, I'm going -2 when people are walking past me, especially if they have a Prius. No offense to our Prius drivers. But yeah, so I felt like it was a smarter choice for me personally to get a smaller bike to learn, get comfortable with, and then as I grow with it, or as my knowledge progresses with the motorcycle, I could become more intuitive or more responsible with another bike because of the relationship I built with this one. You know, at the same time, there's always going to be that person that says, "Oh no, start on the 600, drop it, just fix it, go from there." But at the same time, if you drop a 600 and when you're on a budget and you have real life situations knocking on the door, you're going, you know, should I pay my light bill or should I buy this fairing kit? Or if I pay my light bill now, that means I gotta wait X amount of months so I can pay for this fairing kit, which most people will probably do because at the end of the day, it bills over, toys.